going on? Dr. Gonzo O'Boogie back again for another movie review, and this time around I'll be reviewing the 1982 giallo Tenebrae, written and directed by Dario Argento. This movie was his return to the traditional giallo genre after making the supernatural horror films Suspiria and Inferno. This is actually my favorite straightforward giallo from him, and overall my second favorite film he directed, my first being Phenomena, but I've already said enough about that movie in my last review. Tenebrae has a lot of the same qualities that make Argento's early giallos great, but I feel he really crafted it to a perfection in this film, and gave us another masterpiece. The movie's story is centered around a horror author named Peter Neal, who is traveling to Rome to promote his newest book. Soon after his arrival, he starts getting messages and phone calls from an obsessive fan who has been viciously murdering people around the area. The detectives inform Peter Neal that the killer's murder spree is inspired by the murders from the author's own novels. This motivates him to get involved in trying to track down and find the killer. And right after you finally think you have it figured out who the killer is, the movie hits you with a double twist at the end that'll be sure to surprise anyone on their first viewing. This is another horror film that I just can't recommend enough, especially if you're trying to get into Italian horror or giallos. All around it is just a very entertaining and enjoyable movie, and it does a great job showcasing what Argento does best, which is making awesome horror films. One of the highlights from this movie is a crazy gore scene that happens about halfway in that comes completely out of the blue. In my opinion, this is probably one of the best gore scenes in any horror flick, and I would probably rate it number one if I ever made a top 10 gore scenes list. I'll try my best to explain it without ruining too much of the movie, but later in the film, Peter Neal's ex-wife is nervously waiting in a room sitting next to a big window, and literally out of nowhere an axe smashes through the window, hacking one of her arms off. She then proceeds to stand up and spray blood all over the stark white walls. The first time I saw this, I had to stop and rewind it because I was shocked by how truly unexpected it was. Even though this scene is over the top, it is still very realistic, which is what makes it so disturbingly great. Other than that, another highlight in this film is John Saxon, who plays Mr. Neal's agent. There is a whole side plot about him having a secret affair with Peter Neal's ex-wife. John Saxon has always been one of my favorite actors, and it's really cool to see him in a Dario Argento film. So overall, I would highly recommend this film to any horror fan out there, especially if you're a fan of Italian horror or giallos, because in my opinion, this is one of the best ones out there. So I guess that'll be it for this review. Like always, if you guys enjoyed it, definitely give this video a big thumbs up or leave a comment, and I'll see you guys next time.